welcome back to Easy Friday. I was just, settling in because this one's about to be very interesting. I cannot wait. On my hot seat tonight on Easy Friday, we've got the Manguthas. I'm talking about Wixx and Walter. Hello, hello.
Hello.
The creativity in this room, in this little space right now, including myself, obviously.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk about you because you are my special guest tonight. We are going to be talking about your love, your life together, the things that you guys have been up to these past few years. I believe 9 years of love.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
And how many years of marriage?
8.
8 years of marriage. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And of course, how did you guys meet, by the way? I would love to know that,
Yeah.
firstly, as we start off the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
secondly, I want to know, Wixx and Walter,
Yeah.
how exactly did the two of you end up falling in love?
So how did we meet?
Yes.
He still is best friends with my sister. They were in the same campus. So they used to be in the same squad, still are. So normally they will do these sleepovers. They go to your house so that's how we met. Like when
Okay.
he'll come to our home and
Yeah.
events,
Yeah. So now we
The
had
falling in love part.
the falling
Yeah.
in love. So like actually we had a few hangouts like this, and we're just fooling around with Wixx, and then Wixx was like, "You're like my big bro, like us brozoned even before."
How did you feel when she said that, you're my big bro? You're like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yo, that
Don't
was
do that.
don't do that. Yeah, that felt so bad. But initially, actually, was like a big brother, offering some advice. But then there's that moment when you look at this girl and you're like, wait, how come I've never wanted to know you more? Yeah, that's how now started getting to know her even better. Yeah. So I think that's with the friendship, that's how we got to love each other.
yeah.
Oh, how sweet.
Yeah, thank you.
And the one thing that a lot of people admire about the two of you is that you're so supportive of each other's careers.
Yes.
Walter is an architect, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong.
Yes.
You got that right. Did my research. Wixx, of course, is a visual storyteller. She's an artist. She's a creative. And, I've seen Walter behind the scenes during your shoots. Wixx and I also have worked on a couple of brands together. We've worked on many projects together, and I've ended up at their house. And Walter was just very present, and he was just right there behind the scenes. We even got him to act in a few of the scenes.
For
So it's just so beautiful to see that the two of you together, you gel so well, you work together as a team. And how exactly did that end up happening? Like, you just have so much of an interest in each other's work, in each other's, industries.
Yeah. So when we met, started dating, I used to create these really weird things.
Okay.
And I'll share with him. He's an architect. I mean, if you're an architect, it means automatically you're an artist. So we started sharing into each other's work.
Right.
So at the time I was doing computer science.
Okay.
I would help project manage his projects, and then he would help come through on my end because I didn't know how to shoot, how to edit. And then over time now it became like Wixx. I feel like Wixx is our brand.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
sure.
might be the face
I
of
love
the
that.
brand,
That's
but
such a beautiful thing that you've
Wixx
just
is the
said.
two of
Wixx.
us.
That
Yeah.
Wixx is actually your brand together, Walter
Yeah.
and Wixx combined.
Yeah.
And it's just so lovely. Like, every time I see Wixx doing something extraordinary and something so beautiful, and something that she's poured her heart and soul into, she always ends up giving credit to Walter and of course the rest of the team who are super hardworking. But Walter is always like the pillar, your pillar, and it's just so nice to
Thanks
see.
for the compliment.
So Walter, like, is it the same with her? Like, does she also support you? Because
For sure.
you're also doing your own thing, and you're
Yeah.
also really excelling and being successful at what you do as well.
Yeah, actually, I can say like Wixx has had my back.
Yeah.
Like when I was starting off architecture, and I wanted to know like where my interest is, and then like our work is very subjective. So just some decisions of how people will view your work.
Right.
So Wixx really came through for me, just helping me manage my time. It's all about project management and all that. So I feel like she really played a big part. So I can also say like we're both architects. She's an architect by extension.
Aw,
Yeah,
that is-
so yeah, so
I
like,
guess everyone who's watching right now, everyone's just like, the love. I can feel the love.
yeah, but like she really supported me even starting off. You know, like when you're starting off, you're working hard, you're trying. So like I'm really appreciative of that by the way. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I think that's how like it's only fair
Yeah.
that I pay her back just by being present in also her things.
All the things that
Yeah.
she does.
Yeah, so like, I'm her assistant
Yeah.
when it comes to shooting and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wixx, how did you end up being Wixx the brand? I do know that, you know, back in the day, you weren't getting the recognition that you deserved, despite the amount of hours that you're putting into your work. You know, the kind of work that she does, I have to say this, requires a lot of time and effort. And sometimes she's actually posted and said that she spends days, weeks working on a project that is just a minute long, right? And things like this, I feel, require you to be very dedicated, very focused, and very committed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it takes time. So by the time you're done with one project, you're exhausted,
Yeah.
right? So when you were just starting off back in the day, and you weren't really getting the recognition, you weren't really getting the eyeballs, you weren't really getting the reach that you deserved, how did you still manage to keep pushing until that one day when one of your videos went viral?
Yeah. So when I was starting out, I've told this story many times before. When my mom was passing, she was like, go pursue your dream. That's how you're going to be the best version of yourself, and don't compare yourself to anyone. So at the time, I had just graduated from doing computer science, which I excelled. But coding in school and coding out here is not the same.
Right.
Yeah. So worked for 2 weeks, and I was like, I don't think this is for me.
Yeah.
So I talked to Walter. I was like, do you mind giving me 1 year? I do content creation, and then we see what's going to happen.
Okay.
So just when the year was about to end, the first video I showed my face, because normally I'd never show my face. It will just be my hands and the art. It went viral. And then now after that, that's when brands started coming in.
Yeah.
At first, the 1 year, it felt really bad because you're putting in the hours. I mean, your sleepless nights.
Yeah.
And it was hard for Kenyans to understand the kind of message I was trying to pass on. But I think also from my end, I hadn't understood how to communicate to the Kenyans and get the message out there, whatever I was trying to communicate. But right now I feel like our pupils, we call them cool kids, they are able to speak a language and that they don't even know, they are so fluent in, decipher every single project I put out there. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it actually is. It really is. It's nice to see the engagement you get, the kind of feedback that you get from your viewers, from your audience, from your fans, the great things that they say, because I feel like they recognize the amount of work that you put into your craft, and they give back by just engaging with you. And I feel like that's just, it's the best kind of reward, you know, when people appreciate what you do. So kudos to you for keeping it going and not giving up, regardless of how difficult it could be, and it is potentially, you know, to go viral. So I'm glad that you stuck it out, because look at where we are now. Look at where Wixx is.
Working together.
Absolutely. Walter, let's talk about you. You also had a few videos that went viral, especially during COVID. Do you know, I was actually talking about this off camera, and I mentioned to them that I knew of Walter before I knew of Wixx, because a few of Walter's videos went viral of how I think Nairobi City would look if it was green. I think that was the video. I still remember it. And it was shared countless times, and it was all over my Instagram, and I was just like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Because the kind of art that you did in that video, it was new, it was refreshing.
Yeah.
So that particular video, first of all, why aren't we seeing more of those, Walter? Number one, that's a complaint that I have, because I really would like to see more of those.
Yeah.
That was brilliant work.
Yeah, thank you.
And number two, you know, why did you not end up taking that direction of content creation?
Whoa. You really put me on the hot seat. Yeah, so actually, like, during COVID was like a different kind of time where we were forced to slow down even when we didn't want to. So like just having the time, you know, no, we're not interacting with people, but we still have some messages to portray or to share.
Absolutely.
So like then I had some time to create and all that. So that time, I feel like I had a bit more time. Like architecture can be really, really exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the hours are crazy. So sometimes, like we're still young, trying to build an empire like this. So work takes over most of your time. It's something that I have so many ideas, so I would really want to bring them to fruition, but I think it's all in due time when maybe my work has grown and maybe I have a bit more help. I think I can dream a bit more. So that's why you haven't been seen.
Yeah.
It's
okay, we'll wait. We'll wait for you. But we're very patient.
Yeah. But so first, I think just growing what I have, instead of just mixing up so many things and then you have so many half-baked things. So just first grow the architecture bit. And then when now I feel like I've learned and I have a bit more power of, I have a command in the architecture field, I can communicate even better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that answer.
Thank you.
Wixx, let's talk about, you know, the challenges that you face in this particular path that you're on. You've mentioned that in the beginning when you were starting out, people didn't quite understand what exactly it was that you were trying to portray, what messaging you were giving out to the audience, and what it is that you were trying to achieve with your form of art. Do you think, I mean, you have mentioned that it's changed quite a bit and the cool kids have understood completely, but like, do you still think that in terms of the level of art that we have in Kenya, we aren't quite there compared to abroad? And secondly, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face and of course you've experienced in this journey so far?
How long do we have? So art is expensive. It's really expensive because by the time I'm creating a 13 seconds video, I have to consider the materials.
Absolutely.
I have to budget for my hand. When I'm giving a budget to a client, I have to budget for my hand for physiotherapy.
Wow. Wait, what?
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I have never heard of this before.
Yeah, because my hand, it really swells because of drawing frames or cutting them. But now that I got a team, I feel like that has really reduced.
So you've actually had to go for physio?
Yeah, I go for physio like once every 2 weeks.
And who said the work of content creators is easy?
I know, right?
Who says content creation is not a full-time job?
It is.
It actually
It is. If you're doing your job and you're doing it well, it is a full-time job. At the same time, with visual storytelling, sometimes when I'm working on a project, I have to, first of all, create a small bit of it to see if it's going to work. And so by the time, content calendar, by the time I'm submitting either a content calendar or a storyboard to the client, it's going to take me some time because I have to figure out, is it really going to work? And sometimes at the point of experimenting, it's really going to work. Then by the time I'm coming to work on the project as a whole, it's not working. So I have to go back to step one, to the drawing board and communicate to the client, another challenge. But yeah, I feel like those are some of the challenges that I go through. Another challenge I used to go through was not having a team. So I will be the one to create, be the one to shoot, be the one to edit. That was a lot. It was a lot. But now I feel like ever since I got a team, things are
it's lighter.
yeah, it's lighter.
They have lightened your load.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, Walter, let me
Yeah.
ask you this, like realistically speaking,
Yeah.
when it comes to your job as an architect,
Yeah.
and when it comes to, you know, your passion for Wixx, right? And then of course you have a relationship that you're building, the two of you. You also want to spend some quality time with each other. How do you strike the balance? Because you're doing a lot. Where do you find that time to spend that quality time with each other? Because I do see that you guys like to do a few things here and there
Yeah.
to just be with each other and just enjoy the love that you share for each other. But like, it's difficult because you're working around the clock. You have your job, you have her job, and then you're also trying to like balance it out with your social life, with time for each other. How do you manage it all?
Actually, I think I learned it a lot from Wixx.
Okay.
I'll just be honest. Yeah, I never starting out. It was a bit of a learning curve.
Right.
Because I feel like I would dive into work, and sometimes we'd lack that quality time.
Yeah.
So, but now Wixx became very busy also, and so we had to like take this time and now start learning how to be able to balance it too. So we usually work on some kind of pie chart. So the faster we hit some hours when it gets to work, the faster we can be able to have time for each other, and
I love that.
yeah, so like we have like some form of graph. So that's why you see like there are some things that can suffer a bit, but because we have to prioritize work, and then I prioritize her work, and then she prioritizes my work, and then
Yeah.
we prioritize us.
Each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of this, and then we're back to the same cycle. Yeah.
I genuinely like that because I
Yeah.
feel like in today's world, it's so easy to get lost and it's so easy to get occupied in work and like
Yeah.
you don't get time for relationships.
Yes.
And you don't get time to actually give back to your partner or just give that person that time that they really want.
For sure.
So it's nice that you guys have some sort of a balance, and it actually helps to have a pie chart. If you're watching and you're struggling with your social, work, life, love balance,
Yeah.
pie chart it is. Because I do know a lot of us are actually
Yeah.
going through this right
Yeah.
now, and
Yeah.
it's just the reality of life.
Yeah.
It's true.
This is refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
Wixx, let's talk about your success these past few years. We've seen you go from one brand to 2 brands to 3 brands to countless brands, and now you're just creating content full time as a full-time creative. It's just so inspiring because a lot of people sometimes I think find it very hard to have doors opening for them, and you know, to be able to get that one person to believe in you. It takes some time before that happens, right?
Yeah.
So for you, you know, as your career has progressed so much, it's grown so much, you've flourished into this amazing creator, award-winning creator,
thank
right?
you,
How many
yeah.
awards have you got, by the way? 3?
5.
Five.
Oh.
5 awards. Our girl has 5 awards. She's incredible. So it's just
Yeah,
so beautiful
thank
to
you.
see you
Yeah.
blossom into this, you know, beautiful storyteller, creative artist, a lot of hats that you wear. So how has this journey been for you for, you know, success? And
Yeah.
how have you managed to take it all in?
It's been, so the first year I was like, first of all, I thought normally when people go viral, like brands come to you like
Yeah,
immediately.
they come
like,
knocking.
They come
Hello, hello.
knocking immediately. So the first time I went viral, I was like, where are the brands? So
Why is
they-
no one
yeah,
calling me?
why is no one coming? And then after like a month, that's when they started coming. I feel like it's constant hard work and working smart, because I try my best to give 95% to 100% my best on each and every project. So that means my energy most of the time is super low when it comes to socializing. I feel like my social life suffers.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, this is the season I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And this is what I prayed for, and I'm doing what I love. So that really keeps me going. Plus having Walter, who's there to to critique me. Oh, the first years, the critique, shiksha.
Honestly speaking, I've seen you guys work together, and I've seen Walter sometimes. He'll just be like, no, I don't like this. Can we redo it again?
And at the time, you
like,
think that's your best.
Yeah, you've done it, and you're so happy. You're like, it's time to go home. And then Walter comes in, no, Wixx, one more time.
Yeah.
Your videographer is actually smiling over there because he knows exactly what we're talking about.
He knows. So he was in art school for 6 years.
Wow.
He was used to the critique. For me, this is new to me.
Right.
In comp science, no one was critiquing my coding, But so the first years were really hard because even like getting to understand each other. So it got to a point we decided, imagine at the end of the day, we both want the best. Maybe you have your way of doing it, I have my way. Then let's find a way of merging the two and make it work. So it hasn't, truly, it's not a solo effort. I know most people will be like, they're just a couple, they are giving credit to each other. But truly, this man has really helped.
Aww.
Like even the first video that went viral, he really played a big role.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can actually like also say the same.
Oh,
like
you too.
It's not
are
like,
so cute.
No, actually it has taken some getting used to. Like the first times were hard.
Right.
Because I know I have to tell her, but I'm also the one who's going to like calm her down when she's not happy. So I'll be here, I'll be the creative critiquing, and then I'll just stand and be the husband and just to Lisa, I'm like, I'm very sorry. It's okay, you know what, actually it can be better. So like learning that balance has been quite, it hasn't been easy because like creatives, we see, I'm sure this is the way. And she's like, she's sure this is the way.
And I'm sure you're both perfectionists.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the energy that you're both giving off. You are extremely like detail oriented.
Yeah.
So that's probably where you're at loggerheads most of the time.
Exactly. So, but now, and also like trying to separate when we're working together and when it's time to put work aside.
Yeah. And like have some quality time for each other.
Exactly.
Let me ask you, does Wixx cook?
Yeah, she does.
Really?
Actually, she's a very good cook. Like,
how does she get the time? First of all, like you're a superwoman, girl. Like she actually does cook well.
Yeah, she does. But over time now, what has happened? She's developed different timetables for cooking.
Okay.
The first days were like every day.
Yeah.
But now she's getting busier. So over the weekends, we do like...
Do you cook?
Well...
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell the stories when she's cooking, so we balance. Yeah.
There's a sous chef somewhere.
Yeah.
Who is it? Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So, so like, and then she does like the bulk of the cooking. And I'm like, that's good planning
the stories
for
help.
Yeah. What advice would you want to give other couples who are starting off a business together or are starting to work together? What would that one piece of advice be for such couples? Based on your own experiences, of course.
I think for me, I'd say separate the business and the couple. Like for us at work, you can even find us arguing, but for sure, we know we still love each other. When we're in the car going home, we wouldn't mix business issues and and our marriage issues, or bring like our marriage issues to work to the whole team. It doesn't make sense.
I think another thing that I feel like really like helped us was just lowering the expectations. Yeah, we used to have this thing like we were taught earlier on in our marriage, like it was there's the reality and the expectations, and then in between is the conflict. So we were taught like if you lower your expectations and the conflict is a bit less, So
You're
like,
speaking to my soul right now.
yeah,
Expectations versus reality is
Yeah.
something that's so hard to manage.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like if you lower your expectations and like just appreciate what you get,
Yeah.
first of all, it gets better as you go. Like it's easier for me to do
Even the little that you get.
exactly. Like it's easier for me to want to do more just by being told I've done something really small. Next time I'll want to top it up. The other time I'll want to top it up a bit more and more and more and more,
Yeah.
and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think that's a huge lesson for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Mm.
Now I feel like asking you some rapid fire questions
Let's
because
go.
I'm just like, you know, let's do this. The first time I actually got a couple. No, second time. I got Wahoo and Nameless.
Yo,
Yeah, so you guys are
really
pretty
cool
friends.
people.
They're
So
really
the cool
people.
kids, cool couple. Okay, so I'm going to start out with Walter.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Oh.
Number 1.
Yes.
One thing that you love about Wixx.
I think her personality
Her personality.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What about you,
and
Wixx?
her face.
Oh, what about you, Wixx?
I love how random he is. Like we can just wake up and he's
Yeah.
like, let's go to Mombasa, let's
Yeah.
go to,
It's very
yeah,
spontaneous.
he's very spontaneous, yeah.
Okay. Walter, one thing that you hate about Wixx.
Yo. One thing that I really don't like about Wixx is if she decides she's going this way, she'll do it. Like, and she'll make you do it.
She's a go-getter.
She's a go-getter. Like she'll push me, and in a nice way, though.
Yeah, of course. That's
like
a good character to have, I think.
And that's, I think, it's a big plus for her art. If she didn't have that, I think
Yeah.
it would be really difficult.
persistence.
The persistence. Yeah.
What about you, Wixx?
Walter, he can overplan. Like,
I thought you were the planner.
oh, no, he is. So sometimes we could have like 5 meetings in a day talking about the same thing because he wants it to be precise and he wants to know every single detail. So sometimes it's a good thing because it helps us.
Yeah.
It's even helped us to get here. But sometimes I'm just like, not another meeting. Can we just deep dive and just start the project and not have so many meetings? Yeah.
Oh, can I add one more?
Sure, go
No,
on.
the opposite of that. Like she's so much of a risk taker. Like I'm like, hey, sometimes you have to plan some things, you know. Like we can't just we've seen
Go with the
let's
flow.
go.
Yeah.
No, not all times.
I like that. I'm actually just like Wixx. I'm a go with the flow person, which is not really the greatest thing, you know. But also sometimes I feel like
Look where you are,
yeah,
Shiksha.
you need to be that risk
Exactly.
taker in life.
Yeah.
A bit of both. You
Yeah,
know,
and it
best of
helps.
both worlds.
It helps.
Kind of helps, I guess,
Yeah.
being a creative.
Yeah.
And lastly, this
Yes.
so if you didn't meet Wixx, okay, if you didn't meet Wixx in life, who who do you think what kind of a person do you think you'd have gotten married to if it wasn't Wixx?
If I'm being very honest,
It's okay. We're all friends. We're all friends here, and everyone else who's watching.
like seeing how Wix has helped me plan my life, I think I'd be bouncing from one person to the other because
Really?
I don't think I
You'd
would
have
have
found the
made
right
the
person.
right person. Yeah,
that's
I would have
beautiful.
just been okay. I see this in this person, and then I realize it's not what I want. Yeah,
What an
'cause-
answer.
Yeah, but I feel like she's really helped me plan myself. Like sometimes I ask myself, like all the money I made as a bachelor, like where did all that money go? Like where was it? Yeah. But after Wixx, I feel like I can account for so many
That's
things.
beautiful.
Thank
What about
you.
you, Wixx?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We liked each other for 1 year before he asked me to be his girlfriend.
Okay.
So at the time, I remember praying and telling God, if I'm not going to be with this man, then I'd rather be single forever. So I'm guessing I'll still be single. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Just having fun dating.
Mapenzi. It's beautiful. Honestly,
Thank you.
your love, the passion that you share for each other, for each other's work, for each other's families. I've seen you guys hang out with each other's families, and it's so, so beautiful to see. And I love it here. I'm honestly praying that you guys go to even greater heights together. You know, we get to see you guys reaching literally the top of mountains, which I know you guys also like to do. You're very adventurous, but just enjoying each other's company as well as also enjoying this season that you're in. You know, you're in a very high point of your life, both of you, and I feel like it's only going to get even bigger from here and go even higher.
Thank you, Shiksha.
So congratulations for just being awesome. Keep shining. And thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you for having us, Shiksha.
Yeah.
I think having a friend interview us is
just
really
different.
cool.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And
I'm glad
thank you so
enjoyed.
much for your kind words,
Thank
and
you.
we pray the same for you. Yeah.
One last message as we wrap up to your fans who are watching.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
Yeah, so like we are really grateful for every opportunity. Just
Yeah.
I would say in this day and age of so many pressures and so many things, just slow down a bit and have fun and relax a bit. Everything is going to be okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Wixx will say it better.
For me, I would say thank you so much to every single cool kid who supports us out there. You could be 40, 50, 60, and you're a cool kid as long as you support us. And please don't compare yourself to no man.
Yeah.
Don't do it. This cake is so big for all of us. Yeah, so go out there and go after your wildest dreams.
Be the best version
and be
of
the
yourself.
best version of yourself.
Absolutely. You heard it. Be the best version of yourself. And that's coming from Walter and Wixx. Mangutha, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do this again next week, same time, same place. Don't go anywhere because Kojax now gets the Friday fever on with Disco Funk. You're watching KBC Channel 1. I'm Shiksha Arora. I'll see you next time. Good night.
For today, oh, only today. Has anyone told you they love you today? Has anybody texted you good morning, baby? Ama uko tu hivi hivi kama sisi kujitazamia za biene mena chiki uko hapa solo niede haha wiki. What you say, me and you can get freaky. For today, only today, I'll be your babe. I'll let you call me honey. Will you be there for me? Na ikikuwa navuka na juicy na mpenzi. Just for today, only today, I'll be your baby. Oh, juicy na baby.